Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my favorite listeners, and welcome back to yet another episode of the AIP podcast. Again, it's your favorite host. It's Cheng from SuperCharge Lab on behalf of the AI Partnerships Corporation. Want to give a great big warm welcome to our new and returning listeners. Thank you for tuning in. And once again, today we have a very special guest. Our special guest today is Shamshad Ansari, who is better known as Sam. He is connecting to us, and he is the president and CEO of Accure AI. Accure provides AI and ML platforms as well as data engineering and professional services to prototype, develop, deploy, scale, and manage AI driven business solutions. Accure has worked with some of the world's leading companies in various sectors, including finance, healthcare, and more, to solve their business problems using artificial intelligence. With Get this, with more than 50 use cases deployed, they're superbly experienced in taking on any challenge that is presented to them. So, great big welcome, massive thanks for coming on to our show today, Sam.
Thank you, Anne. Great to be here.
Absolutely. So let's dive right in and start with this. So why don't you tell us your backstory, your origin story, how you got started with the cure?
Um, Great. And so, from my background perspective, I spent more than 20 years in enterprise software development that involved machine learning and AI. Few years ago, the process was very manual and very not very well defined. And process of AI development, what I mean. And the unfortunate part is that the process still is, for most part, very undefined and very manual. Um, I worked in a startup in Silicon Valley where we were doing AI for patient records. We had data engineering, application development team, QA, DevOps, and very highly skilled PhDs in doing algorithm development. And they did excellent jobs individually, but when we wanted to put their work together in production, we experienced almost always great difficulties. There were lots of back and forth, lots of burden on DevOps, and back and forth among teams, and everybody from tech to business were frustrated. That is something that we wanted to actually streamline. So although this was 15 years ago, but we still hear pretty much similar stories from startups as well as large enterprises. So we started Accure with the mission of streamlining this process of AI development. We developed this platform called Momentum that helps automate all phases of AI, from data engineering to machine learning modeling to pushing the modeling work into production and more. And along the way, we work with early customers, early adopters who help us to shape this product and help us to enrich the functionalities within the product. And what we offer as a company, what we do, we offer something we call AI Center of Excellence. So we establish AI COE in the enterprise at the enterprise level, where we put together a team for the AI development. We train them on top of our no code platform, and we bring all these different roles that are involved in doing AI together to basically streamline this AI development process and bring best practices for AI development. So that's what as a company we do.
And that's amazing. Thank you so much for shedding light on this process. And you mentioned during our pre-show conversation that you were trying to democratize artificial intelligence for the greater good of society. Tell us more about that, and maybe you can tie that into a use case, perhaps in the financial industry.
Absolutely. That's a great question. So democratizing of AI means making AI available to everyone. And we believe that AI should be accessible to everyone, including those who do not have a specialized knowledge of AI. We developed this no code momentum platform that brings all its stakeholders and users to a single place and to be part of this AI development. We have seen customers who built various use cases from across various industries on top of our platform. And those use cases were in healthcare, banking, finance, mortgage, oil and gas, and many other industries, including aircraft manufacturing and maintenance. We, in fact, had some universities doing critical research related to global warming and climate change. So, in an essence, we are trying to make with this platform, we're trying to make AI available to everybody, and that is what we mean democratizing the use of AI. Now, what Momentum actually does is that it provides a platform where developers and scientists can build use cases. For example, one of our customers in banking um, built check clearing automation using AI, where they were actually using 1,600 people to do certain banking automation. And with the use of AI, the check clearing process, is fully automated. And now they have, as opposed to 1,600 people, they have now 600 people in that process. So basically, very high end enterprise AI use cases were developed on top of this platform. And that too, the development cycle is very fast. That means this bank, a thousand branch bank, was able to actually deploy their banking or check clearing automation process in just a matter of 4 months. And that involved basically a customized UI and workflow.
That is very impressive. Thank you, Sam, for sharing. I am superbly impressed now. So, you mentioned about being a workbench for AI development. A whole bunch of people throw, the term artificial intelligence or AI around loosely, and most startups really don't get it. So, how does this workbench help to educate people and create better AI practitioners?
Great question. So, Momentum helps automate pretty much all phases of AI development, from data acquisition to modeling to deployment and ML ops, business automation, data warehousing, BI, everything is in one single platform. And also, Momentum provides a role based workbench to perform configuration related activities. And these activities are to actually automate or do certain AI related application development. This is a no code UI driven platform. That means you do not need to write code to basically build a solution end to end. This is particularly important for startups uh, who want to actually build a product rapidly and reduce their go to market time, as opposed to actually get involved in writing enormous amount of code, managing them, and whatnot. This is also particularly helpful for enterprise as well, because enterprise, there's lots of activities going on. You want to build a rapid solution, bring it to production, and get the proof of value very quickly. So this platform, in the form of Workbench, allows you to actually rapidly do the prototyping, rapidly do the modeling and deployment, and beyond. So basically, from development to production, it reduces the entire life cycle of AI development.
Absolutely, that is so amazing. Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about the money. So, what is your revenue model, and how do you help startups to gain access to the right AI development resources through Momentum?
We have very simple model, and uh, per seat developer license and enterprise production license. And we are very startup friendly. So we offer, a 1 year free developer license to startups. That means they do not need to worry about the license until they go production. And that's very, very lucrative for most startups.
That is amazing. I want to sign up now. So, tell me a little bit about this startup journey that you've had. I mean, it sounds like you've been in business for a while. So, what's your biggest takeaway or lesson that you've learned?
And the biggest takeaway, I would say, from our experience is that focus on execution, no matter what.
That
Yep.
is words of advice. Absolutely, amen to that. So, well, thank you for taking your time out today, Sam. Tell us how our listeners can get in touch with you.
Uh, our website is the best source. Our website, accure.ai, has contact us page. So go to the page. You will find email address and phone numbers, and also a form to fill up. You can also request one-on-one demo using our Calendly link that is available on website.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for this journey that we've had today to understand and learn more about momentum and the business you've built at Accure. Once again, thank you for your time, Sam. And to all our listeners, thank you once again for tuning in. And this is Anne from SuperCharge Lab on behalf of the AIP podcast, signing off.
Thank you, and it was great to be here.